was a good Christmas. I don't know if did you do anything special on Christmas, right? I don't think you did, right?
I mean, we'll just roll the clip.
Stan, what you got?
Oh my goodness!
It's a little late.
Yay! Yes!
About damn time, right?
I mean, I guess that's kind of cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess congratulations, dude.
Thank you. What is going on, guys? Nick's Picks, week 17 of the NFL season. And I am joined, as I am always, by Ben. Ben, it is week 17 of the NFL season. And I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas. As you saw from the intro, yes, I did get engaged on Christmas. And, I mean, I know for the most part, most of the people that watch this video or these videos have already seen this and have already congratulated me. So thank you for anyone who has reached out and for all the good wishes. But yes, yeah, I'm an engaged man now, so hands off, ladies. So week 16 was a big week of the NFL season, let alone it was Christmas weekend. We had 2 challenges last week, obviously wager picks that could have ended in negative points. So the least amount of points that one of us could have scored last week was -9, and the most that one of us could have scored last week was 17. So a 26-point potential swing from last week. It was 100 to 91 last week. It wasn't as big of a swing as we thought it was going to be.
No,
but
no, it wasn't.
You did catch up a little bit, so it was a useful week for you. I ended up finishing the week with -3 points, so I'm out of the triple digits. I'm back down to 97. You ended the week positive somehow with 3 points and finished the week at 94 points. So it's only a 3-point difference going into week 17. But before we get into all of our week 17 picks, let's get into this week 16 recap. And it started with the Thursday night game between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Jets. The New York Jets now officially better know that Zach Wilson is the worst quarterback in that draft completely. And we don't even know if Trey Lance is good.
You know what? That's true. I was gonna make a joke about like Mac Jones. I was like, you know what? I can't even joke because I would take Mac Jones over Zach Wilson.
Moving on to the Saturday games, Ben did get his challenge right, but here's a little stat I'd like to point out. I don't remember how long ago it said that this was, but in the last however long, I think it was like in the last decade or so, there has only been 6 game-winning field goals of 60-plus yards. 3 of them have come against the New York Giants. Now, this was the third with the Vikings hitting their game-winning field goal, a 61-yarder to win this one, 27-24 over the Giants. I would have liked to see them win it. At least they were competitive. The Buffalo Bills went on to beat the Chicago Bears 35-13. That helped Ben a lot because he got his wager pick right, and I got my wager pick wrong. That was the real difference of this week. It had nothing to do with the challenges because we both got those right. The Saints went on to beat the Browns 17-10, keeping their playoff hopes alive. Just basically hoping on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to choke, if anything. But the Saints' playoffs hope are still alive. Cool. The Kansas City Chiefs went on to beat the Seattle Seahawks. Thank you, Kansas City. But Kansas City is still fighting with Buffalo for that number 1 seed, so that is going to be interesting moving forward. And Buffalo has a tough game this week, so Kansas City looking good moving into the playoffs. Speaking of Cincinnati, the Cincinnati Bengals beat the New England Patriots 22-18. It's a lot closer game than I thought it would have been, but the Cincinnati Bengals managed to pull it out. The Carolina Panthers went on to beat the Detroit Lions. Thank you, Carolina. They kept their playoff hopes alive, and they hurt Detroit's playoff hopes quite a bit, considering Green Bay also won. So Detroit's in a little bit of trouble. Carolina, again, still needs to hope for Tampa Bay, but don't belong in the playoffs. The Baltimore Ravens went on to beat the Atlanta Falcons 17-9. I got my challenge correct, and you couldn't even beat a backup quarterback in Baltimore who has no offensive talent, by the way, because their only offensive talent is injured.
To be fair, also, side note, I looked this up. Apparently, he's like the 4th or like 5th like string Pro Bowl quarterback, basically. Like
yeah, and he has like less than 100 yards all season or something like that. Well, before this game.
So in theory, if like I think like Mahomes and Josh Allen and like basically every
Drops
starter
out.
leaves and like Lamar,
The Houston Texans went on to beat the Tennessee Titans 19-14. Let me repeat, the Houston Texans beat the Tennessee Titans. Why? What is wrong with...
They're resting, dude. They're just resting.
For the playoffs that they're not going to make now? Like, what the fuck? The San Francisco 49ers, your NFC West champions, go on to beat the Washington Commies 37-20. Although I was kind of rooting for the Commies, like I said, because I do want all 4 NFC East teams in. But it made the Giants cushion a little bit more comfortable, so I like it. The Dallas Cowboys went on to beat the Philadelphia Eagles 40-34. The only thing I really have to say about that is Gardner Minshew was the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Dallas Cowboys gave up 34 points. Granted, technically they only gave up 27. There was a pick 6 by Dak again. Yeah. Why does it seem like every one of Dak's interceptions is a pick 6?
Remember that, what was his name? Matt Shaw for the Texans, where he went like 14 weeks in a row throwing a pick 6 or something like that. I don't remember, but like that's what me played in Texas.
The Pittsburgh Steelers went on to beat the Las Vegas Raiders 13-10. I would say who the fuck cares, but Pittsburgh's playoff hopes are actually still alive. I don't know how, but Kenny Pickett is managing to turn this team around. They've been winning some games lately. All right, here we go. Christmas Day games. First one to happen. I already ruined my 2-point. I mean, if the Rams didn't put up 51 points in their game, but slower. This is my official apology. I thought that the Packers were done. I thought it was over. Their playoff hopes are actually very much alive, considering the Commies, Lions, and Seahawks all lost. I'm sorry. You beat the Dolphins 26-20. You're still not all that good. We still beat you in London. And that's all I have to say.
You know, I'm just kind of like you and Slow are just like beefing, and then there's just me just vibing in the background, just like, hey, my team's terrible.
Team sucks. Like I said before, the Rams went on to beat the Denver Broncos 51-14. My 2-point conversion was that no team would score above 25 points. The Rams did it twice.
They doubled that.
And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers went on to beat the Arizona Cardinals 19-16 in overtime. That helps them out a little bit. But like I said, nobody in this fucking South deserves to be in the playoffs. I know I said that an East team deserved the playoffs in that year that the East was all bad, but like, no team actually deserves this one. And finishing it out with Monday night, the Chargers went on to beat the Indianapolis Colts 20-3. That clinched their playoff spot. And the Chargers, like I said, could be a dark horse team, so watch out for them in the playoffs. But that rounded out Week 16 of the NFL season. And with all that, 2 challenges, a wager pick that I got wrong, the wager pick that Ben got right, and a couple other picks in the mix there. Ben managed to catch up a few points, and the current score of Nick's picks, like I said, is 97-94. Ben, I mean, obviously would have been better for you if I had lost my if I lost my challenge and you got your challenge. But you caught up a little bit. You're back in this thing. Another 10-point deficit that you've come back from. So how do you do?
More or less, I'm still down. So not yet. I'm still losing, but I think I texted you, like, say, hey, watch us both lose our challenge, or both get our challenge.
I really thought
the Ravens
I had that Giants game. Like, it was there the whole time. We just can't guard Justin Jefferson a fucking
Atlanta had a chance, actually. Like, I mean, it was only an 8-point game, but, like, I remember after seeing the final, I'm like, okay, I'll just watch Minnesota. And then as soon as the kicker hit it, I'm like, I think that's good. And as soon as it went through, I'm like, I just kind of sat there just, like...
So did I. I sat there for a minute.
I was just like, that's why I didn't text you right away and be like, oh my God. Well, I was like, dude.
All right, so let's get into our Week 17 picks. We start with the game of the week, the only game that is not on New Year's Day. I forgot to put it in the beginning, but I'll do something festive there in the title. But the Bills go up against the Bengals on Monday night. The most shocking thing about all of this is that we actually have a good fucking Monday night game. I don't know if that's ever happened in the history of the NFL. But yes, the Bills play the Bengals on Monday night. This could be a divisional round or championship round matchup potentially coming for us in the near future. But the Cincinnati Bengals never got the chance to play Buffalo last year because obviously Buffalo lost to Kansas City, and I think that would have been a very interesting matchup. It's a tough one to pick. Buffalo's only favored by what you said, a point, and they're the away team. I am going to go with Buffalo on this one. I'm going to go 28-24. There's not a whole lot of reason behind it. Both teams are hot right now, but Buffalo's fighting for more than Cincinnati is right now. I don't think Cincinnati has a shot at fixing their seed at all. I think they're pretty locked in at that 3 seed because they're not going to fall to the 4. I mean, obviously they still have to win their division, but like I don't think Baltimore's putting up that big of a fight. Buffalo is fighting for this 1 seed with Kansas City, and I think whoever gets that 1 seed it's going to be a huge advantage for them. Buffalo, I'm going to go with this one 28-24 off of literally just that. I have nothing else to say that Buffalo should win this game.
If Buffalo loses this game and then loses next week to Pittsburgh or New England, and then the Chiefs lose out, the Bengals have a tiebreaker over both of them, and they could still get the 1 seed. My game of the week is an AFC North showdown between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And honestly, I'm glad this is Sunday Night Football because originally it was the Rams and Chargers. Thank you, NFL, for changing that because, good God, that was a terrible matchup. And this is actually a very big game for both teams. Yes, Baltimore has clinched the playoff spot, and this could potentially, if they win this week and Cincinnati lose, I believe that would have them clinch the North. I don't know that for a fact, but I also know that the Steelers right now are 7-8, and this could be, if they lose, this would be actually the first losing season Mike Tomlin has ever had, which is what I'm predicting. I predict the Steelers will lose just mainly because the Steelers are just more banged up. Like, yes, the Ravens are without Lamar, but I think the Ravens have enough to still win. I think it's going to be a close game. That's why I have it. A 3-point game. I have the Ravens win this one 27-24. Another one I'm actually happy.
I should have held on to my challenge.
Because this is one
the one I would challenge.
You still got your challenge right.
Yeah, but, you know. Okay, so on New Year's Day, the Giants go up against the Indianapolis Colts. Ben, I mean, you don't even have to beat the Cardinals at this point. But if you don't beat the Cardinals... Anyways, the Giants go up against the Indianapolis Colts, and I am going to predict something that hasn't happened all season long. And that is that the New York Giants are actually going to score 30 points in this game and beat the Indianapolis Colts 30-20.
Wait, have they actually not
scored 30? They have
not
scored 30 points all season long. But the offense is finally starting to look a little bit better. Just a little bit. Not a whole lot. It's the Colts. They gave up 36 points and a half. I think we can score 30 all game.
All right, Nick. This is the best game of the week. No, I'm not even gonna try and. I'm pegging Atlanta.
This is the who fucking asked of the week. Like,
yeah, I'm just letting you know right now. I'm picking Atlanta just purely for pride. I want Atlanta actually to lose this game. I should actually pick the Cardinals to win because I want a better draft pick. But like, I don't know, dude. 17-14 Atlanta. That's all I got. I'm just glad they're actually officially out of the playoffs. So now they can focus on the draft, which means they're probably going to win this game and next week against Tampa. Fuck my life.
So we move on to the picks that we give each other. I gave Ben the Jets going up against the Seattle Seahawks. That's going to be a tough one. I'm not going to lie. I didn't want to pick it, so I gave it to you. But Ben gave me the Cowboys going up against the Titans just because he thinks I hate talking about the Cowboys so much. But fuck it, I'll take the free 3 points because the Cowboys are beating the Titans. I'm going to go 31-17. I'm just going to find it hilarious when Dallas loses in the playoff. I have no problem saying Dallas is going to win a Week 17 game against the 7-8 Tennessee Titans. I'll have a problem saying that Dallas is going to beat
anyone,
Philly or, even fucking Tampa Bay in the playoffs.
If it's Tampa, yeah. If it's Carolina, no. Well, like Nick said, I have the Seahawks going against the New York Jets in Seattle, and I think that's probably the reason I'm going to go with Seattle here because it's in Seattle, and I think, as weird as it might sound, I think they can find a way to win. So I have the Seahawks winning this one at 24-21, even though Mike White is expected to be back, and it's hard to pick. It's so weird that it's hard to pick this game because of Mike White. Like, Mike White's not exactly, a god-tier quarterback, even though...
It's not fully because of Mike White. I would say, Seattle is just slumping right now at the same time. So, I don't know. The Jets are better with Mike White, but, that's...
it's more so that Seattle's downward and the Jets are upward. So, it's kind of like they're in the middle.
Yeah.
weirdly.
And we move on to our wager picks, the thing that made all the difference in the world last week in our picks. But, I mean, this week it does pretty much the same job. I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up against the Carolina Panthers. And this is simply because there is no fucking shot the Carolina Panthers find their way into the playoffs. No shot. Like, this can't happen. Tom Brady needs to put a stop to this. Please, I am begging you, Tom Brady. If the Carolina Panthers make it to the playoffs, I feel like the integrity of the NFL is like at jeopardy at that point. That has to be the most dysfunctional team to make the playoffs ever. Like, in all time, ever.
I would counter that if Atlanta had a chance and they made it instead. They would be the most dysfunctional.
You didn't have a coach that you fired at 1-6 at one point during the season. And you've had 3 or 4 different starting quarterbacks now.
Well, who did they have?
PJ Tucker, Sam Darnold,
Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield. That
I think
might
that's
be
it.
Okay, so 3 starting quarterbacks, and they fired their head coach at 1-6 in the regular season.
And you traded your franchise player in McCaffrey.
And yes,
okay,
and you traded Christian McCaffrey.
I'll give you that then. Yep, that's fair. This is almost kind of similar to the Raiders last year then.
30-23, I have the Bucs beating the Panthers. Yeah. Please, we cannot have the most dysfunctional team in NFL history make the fucking playoffs. Can't fucking happen.
All right, my wager is the Chiefs absolutely going to destroy the Broncos. I was going to keep this a lot closer. Nick, how many points did the Rams put on the Broncos again? Like 50-something points, right? Yeah. I know I was this close to putting 50. I was like, I'll be nice and say 48-17. Chiefs are going. I'm sorry. One of my friends is a Broncos fan, and like when I say he was so elated that Hackett got fired is an understatement.
That's how I felt when the Giants got rid of Gettleman. And we finish out Nick's picks with the 2-point conversion. The NFC South sucks. That's nothing. But let's not throw under the rug here that there is also not a team above 500 in the AFC South. Currently, the Jacksonville Jaguars lead the AFC South with their 7-8 record. Well, technically they're tied with the Tennessee Titans, but they own the tiebreaker. So the Jacksonville Jaguars currently lead the AFC South. All AFC South games go like this. Like I said earlier, the Dallas Cowboys go up against the Tennessee Titans. I very strongly believe that the Cowboys are going to win that game. The Giants go up against the Indianapolis Colts. I strongly believe that the Giants are going to win that game. And the Jacksonville Jaguars go up against the Houston Texans. I do think that they're going to blow out the Houston Texans. The majority of my 2-point conversion is that the Jaguars are going to win by 20 or more points against the Houston Texans. But with all my other picks, they will be the only team in the AFC South to win this weekend. And that'll put them at 8-8 at least. So we'll have one South division with a winning record, or not a winning record, a 500 record.
All right. Well, my 2-point has to do with 2 different games and 2 sets of quarterbacks, and that is the Justins, as I like to call them, Justin Herbert and Justin Fields, going up against their respective teams. The Chargers going against the Rams, the Bears going up against the Detroit Lions. My 2-point is that the Justins, Justin Herbert and Justin Fields, will combine for more total yards than Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield. Baker, I'm a little iffy on because it's a 50-50 with him. Goff, I'm okay with. So both Herbert and Fields, those 2 cores together will combine for more yards than Mayfield and Jared Goff.
So that is it for Nick's Picks Week 17. I hope you guys have a happy, healthy, and safe New Year. And I hope you also had a Merry Christmas. I think I said that at the beginning, but if I didn't, I hope you had a Merry Christmas. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if any of you guys reached out to say congratulations, thank you very much. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm an engaged man now, so that's pretty cool. But thank you so much for watching Nick's Picks Week 17. If you liked the video, drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to go over to Twitch and follow us over there. Last time, it's funny. I said I forgot to put the Twitch link description, so I'll make sure to do it in that video. Didn't do it in that video either. I will be sure to put the Twitch link in the description this time. I promise. 100%. I promise.
He's lying.
I promise.
He's lying, guys.
Like I said before, the current score of Nick's Pick is 97-94. So, Ben, you're catching up a lot, but still a little bit left to go. But is there anything you want to say before we head out for Knicks picks week 17?
Atlanta is in the tank season finally.
You're finally officially eliminated from the playoffs. How do you feel?
If you told me Atlanta would be eliminated in the playoffs before not make playoffs this year, I'd be like, okay, that's fair. I could see that. If you said it was by week 16, I would have said you're on something else because I could have that by like week 8 or 9.
The NFC sucked, to be fair. So
yeah,
even if your division was better, it still would have taken until about like week 12 for you to get eliminated. But that is it for Knicks picks week 17. Happy New Year, guys. Have a great one. Peace.
I know you apologized to Slower, by the way, but I feel like you should apologize to me.
Why?
Because you called me an idiot, last week.
You are an idiot.
Okay, but he doesn't even have to say it. I picked Atlanta purely to bait a challenge.
I apologize to Slower because I said something that was false.
Why do I do this with you? Whatever. Bye, guys, I guess. Nick's just mean to me. I'll be back next week anyway.